Hi, in this video I am going to show you how to work a claim. So we're logged in as the super admin. We're going to go up to our new claims tab up here on the left hand corner on the red dashboard where I have one new claim. I'm going to open up the claim by clicking a little icon on the left. The claim status goes in as claim placed for collection. So it's a $4,500 claim. There is interest accruing on it in the amount of $247. It defaults and lands on the status screen. I'm going to make a phone call, and I will basically either leave a message or speak to someone about this debt and getting it paid, possibly scheduling a payment plan if possible. So I will let the client know that that's what I did. Okay, so I've changed my status from claim placed to collection, which is, that's what it still is, to account acknowledged making demand. And this is the update that I'm going to send to my client. Spoke to the debtor who stated he wanted to set up a payment plan, $200 a month. Please advise if you will accept this offer. Thank you. Then on down here, I have some questions to answer. Would you like to update the client? Yes, I would. If this was a random update, I would say no. The reason I'm saying yes is because I want my client to get an email so that they know that I'm trying to contact them about this claim. If there was a forward associated with the claim, I would update the forwarder as well. But since there is not, it's just a creditor, no forwarder, I'm only going to update the client, the creditor. And then you have, would you like to add a client reminder? That's kind of like for the salesperson if you have a sales team. And would you like to fax the creditor or forwarder? That's just another option of another way of contacting the client. So I'm going to go ahead and hit update status. The system defaults me right to the reminder screen. I want to click back on the status screen though so you can see how that looks. So here's the update that I sent. This is the email address that's going to get that update. It was entered by super admin. This is the status, and this is the date and time the status was sent. So now I'm going to go back to the reminder screen and set myself a reminder. I'm going to say that I want to put this claim out a couple days while I'm waiting for a response from my client. Okay, so I filled in my reminder note. Look for response from client regarding $200 payment. I'm selecting a reminder date of Monday. I can select the collector that I want this reminder for, and I'm going to leave it on myself, but I could put it on someone else's to look for that response. I'm going to give it a priority of high. It's not really urgent, but it is important, so I'm going to leave it on high. And then I have some options here that you can customize. I'm going to select awaiting client response and then hit remind me. So here's my reminder for Monday. So you can see everything that I wrote is here. This is the thumbprint that the system takes so that every action is thumbprinted with a user's ID, so you know who took that action. So the next thing that I would do is maybe if I hadn't got a hold of this person, I would have sent a letter, a demand letter. So I would have gone to Quick Prints, clicked Get Letters, and selected my demand letter. Once I select a demand letter, I'm going to go ahead and generate it so you can see how that looks. We'll print it. So all my information merges with my letter so I can print this out and send it. I'm going to close it up and then go to my attachment screen. This little 0 will turn 1. That means that the letter I just generated is now attached. So I know that I sent a letter on this day, who attached it, and I can also email this attachment to others. I can delete it. I can edit the email or the attachment, and I can also fax it to someone. Right here I can also add additional documentation to this claim. That's pretty much it for now. This is just starting to work the claim. If I wanted to make a payment, click the payment screen, fill in my payment information. Let's say he sent me my first $200 payment because the client replied and said, yeah, we'll accept that. And if they don't accept it, you call the debtor back and say, okay, they're not accepting that. Give me another offer. So the payment came to my office. It came in the form of a regular check. I'm going to put in my check number, the check number that came in. and I will select net because I am going to be remitting to my client. So I'll do that. I'm going to make it the 3rd so I can show you the remit. And then we're going to change that status from account acknowledge making demand to payment. So when I change the status in my payment screen, it's going to change the status of the claim. I'll go ahead and hit submit. The status changed. Scroll down to history. Here's my payment. And there's a couple of things that you can do with this payment history. If you put a little check mark in the box, you can create a statement, an invoice. You can also email the statement and email the invoice. You can also generate a statement of account for the debtor. You can also remove the interest all at once. If the debtor says, hey, I want to make one lump sum payment, but I don't want to pay any of the interest, you can take the interest off. If it's in litigation, go to the litigation screen, enter your litigation information, suit information, judgment information. Once a judgment is entered on a claim, in this section with a judgment principal amount, the judgment date, any interest or cost, as you enter amounts here, this amount will calculate the balance, and this 3 boxes will become 4 boxes. This 4th box will say judgment information or litigation information. And you have your notes section. You can enter a manually entered note. You can also, and every time you click, it's going to take you back to the reminder screen. So it records everything that's done. We generated a letter, we added a payment, manually entered a note. Summary does the same thing, a little more in detail, a little more option, or a little more information about what's been going on with the claim. The difference between summary and notes is summary doesn't have a time stamp when these were done. The note section does. So we have a date and time here. So that's convenient. And you have your debtor information if you want to add additional information or add a co-debtor right here. And any other information, employer, vehicle. Then you have your claim information screen. Claim information, this is where you can change the type of the claim. You can't change the amount here, that's another tab. You can decide whether or not there's a guarantor or not. You can add some information down here. Whatever you put here is going to pop up in here in the red area. I'll show you in a second. And just other information here. So we're just going to hit update. So here's my warning message that I entered from down here. And if you want to remove that, just highlight it, delete it, and update this claim. If there's a settlement, you can create a settlement. And also a payment plan. Click on Promised Payments. So if I wanted to add this $200 payment plan here, $200, payment amount, initial amount, the initial date. I want it to come monthly, but you have a couple of options. And I want it to show up on my reminders. And I want it to show up on my reminders. I can put this payment plan on someone else's list, but I want it for myself. So I'm going to hit Submit. So here's my payment arrangement or schedule. If I go back to my reminder screen, here's my payment arrangement. So this reminder is going to pop up on my reminder screen on the 3rd or 2nd of each month. And as you make your payments, you just complete the reminder, and it goes down into history, there forever. You have your trust account, and you have your cost ledger. If you want to change the amount placed, click on Adjust Amount Placed. And timesheets, if you're billing for your time, this is where you'd enter your time. And that's pretty much how you get started working a claim. Thank you very much for listening.